My name is Nicole, and I am a philosophy major at one of the most prestigious universities in the United States. I've always had a passion for understanding the deeper meanings of life, which led me to pursue my studies at this top-tier institution. Physically, I'm quite the eye-catcher. I stand at 5'7", with long, flowing blonde hair that cascades down my back. My body is fit, thanks to my regular yoga and running routine, giving me a toned, athletic build. My chest is a perky 34C, and I often choose to wear a matching set of lacy undergarments in soft pastel colors. Today, it's a baby blue set. My feet are size 6.5 in American sizes, and I never wear socks at home because I absolutely hate them. Instead, I keep my toenails painted, and my favorite color is white, which contrasts beautifully with my sun-kissed skin. I live in a spacious house in a quiet suburb with my mother and my stepdad, Chris. My university is close enough that I can commute daily, which gives me the luxury of home-cooked meals and my own bedroom, filled with books on philosophy, ethics, and existentialism from great thinkers like Plato, Nietzsche, and Sartre. A day in my life. The morning sun streams through my window, waking me up to another day of lectures. Today, I decide to wear the school uniform, which consists of a plaid skirt just above the knee, a crisp white shirt, and a navy blazer. The uniform hugs my figure in all the right places, making me feel both smart and sexy. I grab my philosophy books, my laptop, and head downstairs. Chris is already there, making coffee. He looks up and smiles. "Good morning, Nicole. Ready for another day of solving life's mysteries?" I laugh. If only it was that simple, Chris. Today we're diving into the ethics of Plato's Republic. It's going to be intense. As I sip my coffee, I can't help but notice how Chris looks at me. There's a tension, a silent conversation that we've never voiced. The morning sun streams through my window, waking me up to another day of lectures. Today, I decide to wear the school uniform, which consists of a plaid skirt just above the knee, a crisp white shirt, and a navy blazer. The uniform hugs my figure in all the right places, making me feel both smart and sexy. I grab my philosophy books, my laptop, and head downstairs. Chris is already there, making coffee. He looks up and smiles. "Good morning, Nicole. Ready for another day of solving life's mysteries?" I laugh. If only it was that simple, Chris. Today we're diving into the ethics of Plato's Republic. It's going to be intense. As I sip my coffee, I can't help but notice how Chris looks at me. There's a tension, a silent conversation that we've never voiced. The day progresses like any other until I return home to find my mother, visibly upset, pacing in the living room. She confronts me immediately. "Nicole, we need to talk," she says, her voice sharp with anger. "I saw how you were with Chris this morning. It's inappropriate. I'm taken aback. "Mom, what are you talking about? There's nothing going on." "Don't lie to me. I see how he looks at you, how you look at him." Her voice rises, her face turning red. The argument escalates quickly. Words fly like daggers, with accusations and denials filling the air. My mother, unable to contain her fury, grabs her coat. "I can't stay here. I need to think. I'm leaving for a few days." The door slams shut behind her, leaving a deafening silence in the house. There I am, standing alone in the echo of our argument. Chris comes out from the kitchen, his face a mixture of concern and something else I can't quite place. "Nicole, are you okay?" he asks, his voice gentle. "I don't know, Chris. This is all so confusing. She thinks there's something between us, but there isn't, right?" I look at him, seeking reassurance, or perhaps something else. We sit in silence for a moment, the air thick with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. There I am, standing alone in the echo of our argument. Chris comes out from the kitchen, his face a mixture of concern and something else I can't quite place. "Nicole, are you okay?" he asks, his voice gentle. "I don't know, Chris. This is all so confusing. She thinks there's something between us, but there isn't, right?" I look at him, seeking reassurance or perhaps something else. We sit in silence for a moment, the air thick with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. Then, the tears I've been holding back start to fall. I feel overwhelmed by everything that just happened. Chris notices and moves closer, sitting beside me on the couch. "Hey, don't cry, it's going to be okay," he says, his voice soothing. He hands me a tissue, his hand brushing mine, sending a shiver up my spine. Inside, I've always admired him. His kindness, his patience, his way of handling tough situations with such grace. Chris is the epitome of a gentleman. Moved by his concern, I suddenly lean in and wrap my arms around him, seeking comfort. He hesitates for just a moment before returning the hug, his arms strong and reassuring around me. After a few moments, Chris pulls back slightly, looking into my eyes. "How about we get out of here for a bit? Let's go to that new Japanese restaurant downtown. A good sushi roll might cheer you up," he suggests, his voice light but caring. I nod, wiping away the last of my tears. "That sounds nice, Chris. Thank you." We both get ready. I change into something more casual but still chic, a light flowing dress that complements my figure, paired with sandals that show off my white painted toenails. Chris waits for me by the door, looking sharp in a casual shirt and jeans. As we drive to the restaurant, the tension from the argument slowly dissipates. The car ride is filled with light conversation about nothing in particular. The weather, a new movie we both want to see, the cherry blossoms that are starting to bloom. It's comforting, normal. At the restaurant, we're seated in a cozy corner, the ambiance filled with soft music and the smell of fresh sushi. Chris orders for both of us, showing off his knowledge of Japanese cuisine, which I find endearing. "Chris, I just want to say thank you for being here. You're always so kind," I say, feeling the warmth of his presence across the table. He smiles. "I care about you, Nicole, your family." The next evening, the pain from my long-standing groin hernia flares up worse than ever before. I'm lying on the couch, trying to find a comfortable position, when Chris walks in, concern etched across his face. "Nicole, you look like you're in a lot of pain. What's wrong?" he asks, his voice filled with worry. "It's my hernia. It's really bad tonight," I manage to say through gritted teeth. Without hesitation, Chris kneels beside me. "Let me help. Can I take a look?" I nod, feeling both grateful and embarrassed. He gently lifts my skirt, revealing the light, semi-transparent tights I'm wearing underneath. He rolls them down just enough to expose the area around my lower abdomen. His touch is gentle, almost clinical, as he begins to massage the area with slow, careful motions. "Thank you, Chris," I whisper, the pain easing under his careful hands. After a few minutes, I feel relief starting to spread through my body. Overcome by gratitude, I sit up and embrace him tightly. "I'm so sorry you have to see me like this, and thank you so much for helping." He smiles warmly. "Don't mention it, I'm just glad I can help." I hesitate for a moment, feeling my cheeks burn with embarrassment. "Could you maybe do the same for my feet? They ache from all the walking at school." Chris looks down at my feet, now visible with my tights rolled down. My toenails are painted a pristine white, contrasting with the soft pink of my soles. "Of course, Nicole," he says, his voice reassuring. He takes one of my feet in his hands, his touch sending a pleasant shiver through me as he starts to massage from my heel to my toes. The sensation is incredible, the pain melting away under his skilled fingers. I can't help but let out a little sigh of pleasure. "That feels so good," I confess, feeling my whole body relax. I didn't realize how much I needed this. Chris keeps working, moving to the other foot, his touch consistent and soothing. I watch him, the way his concentration turns into something tender and caring, and I feel an unexpected warmth spread through me. It's not just the relief from the pain, but the intimacy of the moment that makes me feel so alive, so cared for. As he finishes, I look at him with a smile, my heart full of thanks. "You really have no idea how much this means to me, Chris. I feel so much better." He nods, standing up and helping me to my feet. I'm glad. Just take it easy, okay? And let me know if you need anything else. I nod, still feeling the echo of his touch on my skin, the pain now a distant memory, replaced by a deep sense of comfort and perhaps something more stirring within me. After the soothing foot massage, Chris looks at me with a gentle concern. How about I do a bit of a back massage? It might help you relax even more, he suggests. I nod, feeling both grateful and a bit overwhelmed by his kindness. I lay back down on the couch, and Chris moves behind me, his hands finding the tense knots along my lower back. His touch is firm yet comforting, working out the stiffness that I hadn't even realized was there. Oh, that's so good, I murmur, my eyes closed, feeling the tension melt away under his hands. As he finishes, I sit up, suddenly feeling a pang of vulnerability with the house so empty and quiet. Chris, could we sleep together tonight? I mean, just sleep. I'm scared, I admit, my voice barely above a whisper. He looks at me, his expression shifting to one of understanding. Scared of what, Nicole? Since Mom left, I've been having these terrible nightmares. They're just getting worse, I confess, feeling a bit embarrassed, but needing the comfort. Chris nods, his face softening. Of course we can sleep together. I'll stay right here with you. And I promise, I'll take you to your mom's in the morning. We'll sort everything out. Relief washes over me, and I give him a small, grateful smile. We move to my room, where I change into pajamas, and Chris borrows some of his own from the spare room. We climb into my bed, and I find myself nestling closer to him, seeking the security of his presence. The warmth of his body next to mine is comforting, and as I lay my head on his shoulder, I feel the fear start to recede. Chris wraps an arm around me, protective and paternal, but there's an undeniable intimacy to it. Thank you, Chris, I whisper, my eyes heavy with sleep. Anytime, Nicole. You're not alone, he replies softly, his voice a lullaby in the darkness. With his steady breathing beside me, the nightmares that had plagued my nights seem to lose their power. I drift into a peaceful sleep, knowing that, at least for this night, I am safe and cared for.